Hello, Coastal Bend, Meteorologist Carly Smith here. We got everything working. So we're talking cold weather. That's right. Crazy to be talking about cold weather when it was in the 60s this morning, but we're going to continue to be in the 60s tomorrow morning. So these are your morning overnight lows that I'm going to show you now. Here we have it. So these are your morning overnight lows. 37 is how low we are thinking for Monday morning. Now Monday, there's a lot of factors at play. And if I'm being honest, the model agreement is not there for temperatures this cold. But when you factor in the fact that we've got a cold front moving through, we've got strong north winds drying our dew points out. Our dew points are going to be down into the 20s Sunday. And then Monday, they're going to start creeping back up. But I think we're still going to be low enough to where 30s are going to be possible. We're going to have a really light wind Monday morning as well. And then additionally, we have the cold air in place. So I think all of those factors combined, clear skies, that was the last one. Clear skies is the last factor. All of those in place definitely gives us a good chance of falling into the 30s. So when I take a look at all of our coastal locations, what we are looking at are coastal Bend areas along the coast. So Corpus Christi at the airport is where it's going to be 37. If you live closer to Corpus Christi Bay or the Laguna Madre, so the closer you live to the water, the less or the more mild your overnight lows are going to be, right? So Monday morning closer to the coast, so Port Aransas, Rockport, probably Flower Bluff, you're going to be in the mid 40s to low 50s. I'm not worried about the cold. Well, it will still be cold to you, but I'm not worried about the 30-degree cold temperatures. Inland Corpus Christi, especially closer to the airport, we're talking 37 degrees. Kingsville, 37. Alice could be down to 34. George West, 34. Beeville, 33. So last time we had temperatures on the colder side, some of those low-lying areas in between Alice and George West that fall along some creek, low spots, so some of those valleys. It's not obvious that we have a lot of valleys out here, but if you live, near a creek, near a river, those areas actually have a chance of getting colder than the temperature reported. So just a heads up, freezing conditions, some outdoor plants especially could be impacted by these cold temperatures. And here's why. We've got this cold front moving through. And so as the cold front comes through the area here, Saturday, we're going to be warm. We're going to be really warm ahead of this front. Temperatures in the mid 80s, 84 degrees Saturday afternoon. And our winds are actually trending colder, or not colder. Our winds are actually trending lighter. And we'll talk about that coming up in just a second. But as that front brings that cold air into the area, we're going to have temperatures in the 60s for San Antonio, Corpus Christi, 50s for Dallas, Lubbock. So it is going to be rather chilly across the Lone Star State. Monday, still on the cooler side, we start to warm up a little bit. And then as we head into next week, we're talking kind of seasonal temperatures. Our lows are going to be much more mild as well. So as far as your cold front timing, I didn't really change much from last night from Allen's forecast, but it looks like anywhere between 4 and 11. I'm trending a little bit later in terms of the high wind and in terms of any chance for rain. I would say that's going to be closer for Corpus Christi, 8 to 9 for the cold front moving through versus 7 to 6. That's the side I'm leaning more toward the later end, and that's more so the direct impacts from the front. So we're actually going to see our winds shift out of the north a little bit early before the front arrives. So these are your wind gusts, and so what you're going to notice is there's actually what this is the combination of there is a dry line set up across the Lone Star State right now, and what the dry line essentially is separating humid air from less humid air or drier air. There's not an extreme difference in the dew points ahead of the front, but kind of like the sea breeze and all of that just combined essentially does give us a bit of that dry line. In fact, I think this is the actual dry line. So anyway, there is going to be a dry line that kind of moves through first. And you're not going to notice a big change in temperatures, but you might notice the wind starting to be more northerly ahead of the actual cold front and before it starts to get really gusty. Then once the front moves through, we say goodbye, or the dry line gets pushed out as well. So once the front moves through, that's when our wind gusts pick up. And so for Corpus Christi, that's looking like 8 o'clock versus 7 o'clock. So 8 o'clock, the winds start to pick up. By 9, 10, 11, so as we continue into the overnight hours, this is when it gets really gusty. And so we've got 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts for Port Aransas, Rockport, Naval Air Station, Corpus Christi, Flower Bluff, George West, all of even Alice, Orange Grove. So pretty much everyone has a chance of seeing those extreme wind gusts of 40, and it's okay, I said extreme, that's probably a little dramatic, but has a chance of seeing those 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That's going to be through, I mean, along the coast, that's going to be through 5 a.m. Areas inland will start to see less and less of the stronger wind gust by tomorrow or Sunday morning. I'm already ready for the weekend. And so here you see the winds continue to become less and less gusty throughout the day on Sunday. So by Sunday evening when the sun is setting, we're looking at light wind. And that is another reason why I think those near freezing temperatures, or at least temperatures in the 30s, are going to be pretty likely on our Monday. So as far as the wind goes, I know there's a lot of Christmas events taking place Saturday across the area. So it does look like, as I mentioned, kind of that dry line moves through first. We have a bit of a northwesterly wind. Then when the cold front gets here, we get a strong northerly wind. So that's looking to be about 8 p.m. for Corpus Christi. And you can see those wind gusts just going up into the night. So for boating, bonfire weather, not with those winds. But tonight, we actually could have some lighter winds, or early tomorrow morning rather, or bonfire once the temperatures drop. Yes, maybe that's the context you're talking in, Esteban. So hi everyone, thanks for watching again. We do have a gale watch that is in place from 9 p.m. to noon. So that's 9 p.m. Saturday through noon on Sunday for those gusty winds that I just showed you. So the weekend forecast, tying it all up in a nice pretty graphic, we've got 82 degrees your high today, 84 on Saturday, 63 on Sunday. So sunshine in full force on Sunday, but it's still going to be cold, y'all. Temperatures in the 40s early on, chilly with a dry wind. The wind will become gradually lighter throughout the day. So that's why I put 20 to 2 miles per hour. So just to emphasize, it's the wind that's going to be the biggest issue with this front. Strongest winds Saturday night out of the north, 20 to 30 miles per hour. So as the wind comes in, it is going to drop our temperatures. Right now, the models aren't very dramatic on the temperature drop. So 8 p.m., 68. I should have put like an 8 to 9 window, but it does look like we will fall into the 50s by 9, 10 o'clock, and then 40s by Sunday morning. But I can't emphasize enough, the wind is going to be strong. Christmas decorations are going to be blown around. Boating is going to be hazardous. So the La Posada Lighted Boat Parade, especially Saturday, hopefully gets wrapped up before those strong winds come into play, because that will not be fun trying to load boats or store boats with those 40 to 45 mile per hour gusts in the area. This front is really going to dry us out. I mentioned our dew points. They're going to be very dry, and that is fairly rare down here to fall into the low 30s, upper 20s. For a dew point. That's what it's going to be like on Sunday. So your skin is going to notice that, and it's going to be like, at least if you have naturally dry skin like I do, it's going to be like, ah. So put the lotion on, put the aquifer on definitely Saturday night. You're going to want it. So finally, we've got our 7-day forecast, and so we went over pretty much everything, how it's warm Friday and Saturday because we've got those southeast winds. It's breezy today. The wind will be lighter Saturday morning and afternoon before the front arrives. Then the winds are going to kick up and they're going to be rowdy heading into Sunday morning. We've got that gale watch already in place. It's not a gale warning yet, but that means one will likely be issued once we are very confident in those stronger winds coming in. It's going to be breezy Sunday morning, weakening wind Sunday afternoon, cold start Monday. And we talked about how 30s are likely because we've got clear skies, mostly clear skies especially. We've got light winds. The wind will be really light by Monday morning. And it will be starting to shift back out of the southeast, but still pretty light. And dew points are still really dry at that point. By Tuesday, we've got more humidity, we've got more moisture, so our temperatures are going to be much warmer. They're going to be 53 early Tuesday morning, then we're in the 60s. Look at that. There's not a big difference between our low and our high there Wednesday and Thursday because we're going to be more humid and we have that chance for rain. So I've been kind of showing this graphic the last few days. It's still on target to have what is known as a cutoff low in the upper levels of the atmosphere. Now, I will say this cutoff low is not looking as strong necessarily as it did earlier in the week, but it's still there. It's still showing the rain coming up into portions of West Texas, especially on Wednesday, and then Wednesday into Thursday, more rain across South Texas. Look at that high pressure keeping all the rain out of the southeast. That's always fascinating to me. And then there is going to be another front that does look like it kind of stalls and maybe doesn't move through until Sunday into Monday. But that's what we're watching. That's what's going to bring us a decent shot at rainfall. Totals, timing, all of that still needs to be determined, but just wanted to give you a heads up on that forecast. For now, we're going to just end things on the 7-day. I'll make sure that I've read all of your questions. Love the Texas winter weather. For a day, Maggie, one day we get Texas winter weather. I guess you could argue 2 days, Sunday and Monday. But yeah, fun times, and it always comes in dramatic, you know. We can't just gradually turn cold. It has to be 84 to 46 to 37, and it has to come with really strong wind gusts. Thankfully, we're not tracking really strong, severe thunderstorms across South Texas. We do have East Texas still potentially under a risk of some severe weather. So today that risk is Texarkana. Tomorrow it kind of starts in Houston and goes up into the Mississippi River Valley, the lower Mississippi River Valley. So that's where the severe thunderstorms are going to be with this front moving through. We will be lucky to get a spotty rain shower. So I do have a future cast that I didn't show you guys for everyone that's still watching. Here's our clear skies today. We could see some fog tomorrow. A spotty shower is possible, but we're mostly just going to be muggy early on Saturday with some stratus clouds. Spotty showers are possible during the day on Saturday, and then as the front moves in, we have a chance for some rain along the front, especially anywhere from Corpus to Rockport as the front is moving through. So anywhere between 7 and 9 p.m., and then the front passes through and we dry out very quickly. So again, that is going to do it for this live update with myself, Meteorologist Carly Smith. Thank you everyone for watching, and of course keep up to date with the latest weather. You know, on that app you can see, I think that's showing off our hurricane forecast, but we've got a live radar that you can look at on the KIII TV app. All you have to do is download it from the App Store, and that will get it going. So thanks for joining this live update once again. Have a fantastic Friday and a wonderful weekend.